We use some serum, and it comes clear. It's supposed to be an anti-aging thing, but we know no matter what you do in life, if you're going to be old, you're going to be old. You can't escape it. Let me see. You know, it's so funny how people get offended. So, people like what they like, and people don't like what they like. That's a preference. You can't get upset with somebody for not liking you. If you are too short, it's a preference. If you're too tall, it's a preference. That means that people like what they like, and sometimes what they like is not always good for them, but reality is it's what they like or used to. And I know within me, I meet different people. And the funny thing is, most men don't want to date you if you're not their type. So if they're not attracted to you, men won't date you. And the thing that gets me is the same energy is shared with, you know, how are you, Jordan? What's up, boo? Can you say my name? Hey, April Jordan. Thank you for giving me an easy name. So the thing is, you know, there's a cash app on top. You can always cash at me some anyway. So the thing that gets me is today, there is called a preference. Now, people get upset behind someone else's preference. You're attracted to, you find handsome, that you find beautiful, you find this beautiful. It's a preference. You just like them because that's what you like. Not saying it's good for you, but at the end of the day, it is your preference. And sometimes people get offended. And it's so funny because when you talk to guys and stuff, they be like, well, stand back. Let me look at you. Let me see that body. Give me a 360. And it's like, you have to do all these things to see if if you're what he wants. He'll say, well, turn around. Let me see the back. Now, remind you, nothing about my body has anything to do with my heart. And you're also being jumped off of if you're good enough to be with him. It's a preference. And I'm so glad I learned this word because a lot of men don't like that word. They don't like the word preference. They don't like the fact that he's being rejected. They don't like it. But they're going to reject you. Like, you're too big for me. You're just, and the crazy thing it gets me is you have to feel like you have to fit into a certain mold to be with him. And sometimes you don't make it. And that's fine. That's fair because he likes what he likes. And if you decide or you're not what he wants, he may go cheat on you. You may wear too much makeup. He may want to dip you in the water and wash all the makeup off your face. But that's his preference. He likes what he likes. And I'll tell a guy, I'm not into him, but all of a sudden the name call will begin. Hello, Gina. So the name calling begins. And the thing that gets me is People have a preference. They like what they like. They like what they like. And sometimes what they like is not always good for them, but reality is they like what they like. So I was talking to somebody and I said, you try to find a polite way to say this that I don't like you. Like, I'm not attracted to you. Then the person that's you're saying it to, they get offended. Now here we come on. You're gonna call me out my name. Now I'm all this and that because I said, hey Gino Rex. And that's the thing about it. But people like what they like. And the thing that gets me is now you call me out my name because I said no. And it seemed like it's not a sure way to let somebody down because reality is I'm not attracted to you. I notice the big thing that's going on now is that the girls are discriminating against the guys for being too short. So they call them kings, short kings. Reality is it's offensive either way. He wants to be known as the king, but not as a short king. You know, but people have purpose. Girls don't want to date guys that's really short because she wants to wear heels and stuff like that. And she wants them to be a certain way for her liking. Now, who to say that the short man will be perfect for her? Because a lot of times short men are good, and you're not willing to give them a chance because you're already set in your ways. And if you're single and everybody you mess with was tall, and you're still single, then clearly some type of way you mean you're doing something wrong. Sometimes your preference is not the one that's good for you, and at the end of the day, you should be able to give anybody a chance as far as, just give them a chance. But I noticed that when it comes to the guys, your body better look a certain way. When it comes to the girls, you have to be a certain height. If you're a woman, you better have shit. They cut it up to like, I like a girl with big boobs. I like a girl with a big ass. And the thing that gets me is women will go all the way out the way to enhance themselves to be beautiful for a man. Now, a lot of times, I've never met men. I remember one story about one man who ain't got his height. He got his legs made himself taller. So it was like he was 5 something, but now he's 6 feet tall. So his legs chopped off and put back on to be taller. Because he's been rejected so much, if he was taller, he feels so I could have a girlfriend and stuff like that. But it's preference. And reality is, unfortunately, if you're a good person, you're just a good person. But a lot of times, your preference, what you think is good for you, is not always really good for you. And the sad part about it is, unfortunately, a lot of short men don't get the chance to really get a chance to meet the girl. But let's be clear. At a certain point of being rejected, men become very angry. The most angriest people I've ever met, the most angriest men in the world is short men. I'm not saying this as a blanket statement, but short men are very mean. Hey, Miss Evelina, they're very mean. And the thing that gets me is, when you go on a bus and you hear somebody saying the most stuff that's negative, it's always a short man. Yeah, I think because a lot of times he's heard so many short things said about him, the rejection is so widely spread, and he feels like, I guess once you start picking up somebody so much, he wants to pick on people, and he's the whole thing. But I do notice that when it comes to men that are very short, they become very angry. Angry with the world. Now, it's not a blanket statement, but then there's the one that are tall men that become very conceited. God's gift to the world, they just dog with it. The selection of women that he can have because they're tall. And the whole mentality of being great is not defined by how tall you are, but how good you are. And unfortunately, I've noticed a lot of men that are tall, they got this really ego about themselves. And a lot of short men who are short, they're very angry. And the thing that gets me is some short men are very nice and very kind and stuff, and unfortunately, they get a hard way to go. The back part of the stick. Now, I could say date short men and stuff like that, but I have to understand that people have preferences. People like what they like. And every time they look at you, the fact that you're not tall enough, they're always looking at you from the height up. They're not being fair to you to give you a chance as far as, moving forward in life. Just because somebody's not don't look good enough for you, don't mean they're not good enough for you. There has been a lot of short men that were very great and kings and like beautiful personalities, also sharing and lovable and caring. But unfortunately, they don't get the fair end of the stick. And there are a lot of tall men who treat you like dirt, and then they don't get the fair end of the stick because they feel as though they get the fair end because they kind of mean. Not everybody, but tall men are very mean to me because they feel like they God's gift the world where everybody wants to be with me. Look at me, I'm tall. I can get anybody I want. Then they feel like they could be any type of way. They can be narcissistic, evil, and try to stump your growth. They also try to control you and stuff like that. But it's not a blanket statement. A short person could do the same thing as a tall person. But the preferences become very much detrimental because people feel as though they like what they like. And I've been cursed out because I say, well, you're a little too short for me. Now I get called to the name of the book. And that's fine. Because you mad. You mad. You ain't getting your way. And the thing is, in the same breath, he will find a girl that's like she's big overweight and stuff like that, just big BBW. And he's like, I don't want her. She's too, she's too big for me. But in the same breath, he'll go against the other girl. I mean, go against you because he feels as though you're not being fair to him. I told you guys, an old genius at my workplace whose younger brother is disrespecting him and buying their sources over to sideline him, right? Because he has no money. I don't know. But I do know, unfortunately, we live in a world that's very much big on preference. You have to look a certain way to be with somebody. They have a certain preference that they like. And I'm going to say this, I've been one of those people. And the reason why, because I'm 6 feet tall, and I get men that are 5'6" and under. And it's a certain type of 5 feet men. If you're 5 and you big, it could work. But if you're 5 feet and you're really small and tiny, it feels a little awkward. I would love to be shorter, but I'm not. You would love to be taller, but you're not. And the thing is, you deal with the cards you've been dealt with, and you move forward and make it work for you. And if it don't work for you, don't shame somebody else for not being exactly the height that you feel they need to be. I get called to my name all the time when I reject somebody. And you try to find a subtle way to say this. Like you're not my type. And I always find it really weird when a person is not of color, which is not black, that want to call you out your name, but you're not black. And you're upset with me because you're not black, and then on top of that, you feel as though you want to give different pronouns, stuff like that. You're upset. Reality, I don't like rejection as well as most people do, but reality is, you like what you like. I've dealt with tall, I dealt with short, and to be honest with you, I feel better when either one of them I like because they are just really. His younger brother opened the door in his car and held it for him to pass under height mom. Exactly. I mean, people like what they like. I can't stop that. He passed under his arm. But people like what they like. I mean, the thing is, it's almost really weird because a lot of times people, just because you feel as though you like a certain thing, don't mean that it's good for you. You just may be attracted to it. It does not mean that it's good for you. Your person that's good for you could look completely the opposite of what you want. He could be white, black, Puerto Rican, Haitian, Jamaican, African, or don't even speak the proper English as far as having a conversation with you. But the reality is, it's almost exhausting when a person don't feel as though you're giving them a chance. Now I get this all the time because for some reason people be thinking I'm Puerto Rican, so they send me everything in Spanish, and I'll say I'm not Spanish. I've said it so much that it automatically goes up on the screen. I'm not Spanish. And I notice I'm like, well, I'm not English. I'm not Americana. Okay, we can't talk. So can I talk to you through this tube, and then, we could talk through the tube. I would love to talk to you, but I can't understand you. And then you be trying to understand them. Like, it's exhausting when you have to change the way you are for somebody that you don't even understand. And just because they're another nationality and stuff don't mean they're a good person. Because good people come in good packages and bad people come in good packages too. No way you can date someone. Okay, exactly. But they get upset. And the thing is, purpose is very much important to people in the world. And I'm not going to say I know exactly what's perfect for me, because if I did, I wouldn't be single. So I have to understand my preference. But I listen. At some point, I dated tall, I dated short, I dated really short, I dated people that was a deaf mute. It's just wanted the fact of love for somebody, and it all fell. I feel like a certain type of thing that you try to become less than for somebody else to fill your cup does not make it right. And the motto of my life has been, it's difficult. And it's exhausting. It really is exhausting because I meet guys that are tall and they're evil as hell. There once was a thing called, I want to take you out to dinner. Everything is about let me come to your place and chill. We don't take people out to dinner. We just want to chill in your house, eat your food and stuff like that. And I've been told that a lot of times. And I don't get upset when I'm not somebody's type. I don't attack them. I don't go off on them or start saying a lot of mean things to them because you're not my type. Because you're not my type. I don't go off on you, but you'll go off on me. Well, you then, you ugly anyway, your big old head, then you're tall like a man. You probably is one. They're going to say mean things because you're not what I like. And it's like, you just take a deeper, and you don't get, well, I don't get mad because it's like, oh, so you mad at me because I said no. And the thing that gets me is I have to be mindful of your feelings and you tell me everything about me that you don't like. But if you didn't like me, why did you hit me in the first place? It's okay not to like somebody. It's okay. It's okay for you to say, I'm sorry, you're not my type. They get upset. That's why I got Pop the Balloon. You ever see Pop the Balloon where people get upset with somebody over the smallest thing? I don't like your shoes. I don't like your shirt. So I pop the balloon. And I think it's really crazy because you could always change shoes. You could always change hairstyle. So you're finding any little thing about them that's bad. It becomes disheartening. My cousin says he likes way Chinese women cry during sex, even though he doesn't. That's what I'm saying. People like what they like. I mean, you can't really criticize what somebody likes, and I don't do that as far as myself because I always feel like the person you really want is probably the one that you don't need. There are a lot of people out here in this world that's not good for you. You just feel as though this is the one, my God, he's so fine. He's got to be the one for me. But reality, he's not the one for you. Then you want to let him go because you feel like he's so gorgeous. I'm never going to find a man that looks like him again. But he's not the man for you. And sometimes that word, he's not the man for you, becomes disheartening because you want him to be the man for you. But he's not. And I've been through this thing myself a lot of times. And, You meet a man, he's fine as hell, but he treats you like shit. You meet a man, he's fine as hell, beat the shit out of you, and then you cry, bruising all up. But he's so fine. And the thing that gets me is it's exhausting. It's exhausting mentally. And I've been through it before. I've been through this stuff, especially the ones who wants to see if they could take you down a few levels. Now you want to see if you can hurt me and stuff and take me down because I don't seem to be submissive enough. I don't seem to be less self-esteem enough. So I have to work on your self-esteem to take you down a few steps. And the thing that gets me the more so is like, why bother? It's so easy to leave somebody when they're not what you want. It's so easy to leave them alone and say, you know what? If you ain't for me, the person who is for me, I should be with them. All you gotta do is go look, because they out there. There's tons of people. This world is really big. There's always somebody for everybody. I like to think. I don't know if it's true, but you just have to be strong. And unfortunately, a lot of times people stay with people who are not good for them because of looks. Like they're fine as hell and they treat you like shit. They cheat on you every chance they can. They disrespect you. They hit you in the face with a cane. And then you're like, well, he didn't mean it. And it's like, it's just crazy to me. But the thing that gets me is, I'm not everybody's preference. I'm not what everybody likes. And I take it under the chin, but I don't listen. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Raven that used to cry over men. I used to cry so hard. I'd be like, what can I do to make you more attracted to me? So I try to do everything I can to win you over. But they didn't like me because they only wanted me sexually. And that's another thing. You make a person feel like you really want to be with them, but they only want you sexually. They only want you for the night. They only want you for the minute. They only want you for the sexual intercourse, but they don't want to be with you. But they're going to tell you when to be with you. They're also going to tell you everything they ever wanted. They're going to tell you the most beautiful girl in the world. You just made their day. Everything about you is perfect, but it's all about sex. I love your boobies. I love your ass. But everything's about you. It's about sex. He don't want you at all. He just wants you as a sexual pleasure for himself. And remind you, some of these people that feel this are very unattractive. But do they feel unattractive? Absolutely not. It's crazy to me though. It's really a self-esteem thing to me because it's like, how much do you allow to somebody to take you down? Like how much would you allow it? And unfortunately, a lot of people do it. A lot of people date people that they're not attracted to, and they treat them like dirt, no stay. Because they look good. The aesthetic is amazing. He's fine as hell. She's beautiful. And then they go through this whole mental abuse thing. Then they get mentally abused. Now they're mad at the whole world. Now they're mad at everybody. And the reason why you mad because you stayed. Well, you knew to leave. You know you should have been left. But you stayed anyway. You just stayed because he was fine. You stayed because she's beautiful. You stayed. You let them dog you the hell out. Let them treat you like shit. And at the end of the day, now you mad at the goddamn world. This world is fucked up. Of course, because you should have been left. Like Mary J. Blige said, you should have left his ass a long time ago. You should have left him. And you know when it aches your gut, you be like, why you treat me so bad? Why is that coming out your mouth? He's treating you bad because you allow him to do that. And then it's the ones that's going to sexually beat you to death. You know what that means? That means somebody who is good in the bed. They don't want you to leave, so they get you in that bed and they do things in your body. They do things in your body that makes you go, ooh, on second thought. But he knows how to win you over. If he can't win you over mentally, he'll win you over sexually. So now you're being, as they say, dick whooped. Now he's beating you up, all of your insides all feeling good. And at the end of the day, he ain't staying. It's all a trick. And it's like, you become very mad because reality is, you know better. You know better. But he uses different things to keep you there. I mean, the thing that gets me is you stay anyway. Hey, King David, what's up, boo? Who wants don't know better? That's what I'm saying, King. But to see the thing, King, what they'll do is they'll get you in that bed, and the performance is gonna be outstanding. When they get you in that bed, they're gonna turn you out. They're gonna do all kinds of shit they would never do. But the whole thing is, if I can't get you one way, I'm gonna get your mind. And when I get your mind, I'm going to you up. I'm gonna dog the shit out of you. Because once I get your mind and stuff, and I get you understand that you can't leave me physically, but mentally, if I get in your head and I get you in that bed and I turn you out, it's gonna be hard for you to leave. And you know you need to go. And you know you need to go. But they get you in that bed and they do things to your body. You're like, oh, mother, oh, mothers live. And then you get somebody, then you get a little young junior. He gets you in that bed. Like, oh my God, this man has been here before. And then he told you. Now we know you may mess with a young person. You should expect them to do some mindful, some disrespectful things to you. So I don't understand if a person trying to hold on to somebody that's basically young and they basically gonna be sexually active, because everything about you is an experiment. They're gonna be experimenting on your body and stuff like that. And sometimes the rapper is very beautifully rapped, but it's not good for you. Just because it look good don't mean it's good for you. And a lot of times within a lot of people, they're gonna get you. As mothers live, you already know. And the thing that gets you, okay, I'll give you a prime example. I met this guy, and he was younger than me. And he kept trying to convince me that I know I'm younger than you, but I'm good. You know, you're not the oldest one I've ever been with and stuff like that. Never mind, he's only 21. So I'm not the only one that's lived. She's been after the cougars. The cougars are going crazy because these young guys are coming after the girls left and right. And the thing that gets me is they be tall, their skin be tight and all in place, no wrinkles, ain't no sand. Cause you rub my back down on my pain, so you ain't laying in bed with Pops. And then you in the bed with Junior, and Junior's about to tear you up in that bed. He wants to put you in this position. He wants you to twerk for him. You're like, what do you need twerk for you? Twerk for you. That's when you know your ass is old. He'd be like, twerk for me. That's when you know you step out of your age bracket and you know you should shame yourself. And the thing that gets me is, it's dangerous when you have a preference. And unfortunately, if you look younger than you are, guys will deal with you because they think you look younger. In reality, you're older, sometimes 5 years old, sometimes 10, sometimes, I think I saw this video, sometimes 40 something, 20 years older. And the thing is, you look young, but you know you're in the bed with a young man. In reality is, get a preference. Everything about you is a sexual experience experiment. So basically, he's been doing things to you that he would normally be doing to a girl that knows better. So he feels as though since you're really not from that time lap, you're gonna do it. In some cases, like, no, I can't turn my leg back there. I can't put my leg up here. I can't do this and that because your body's, you're old. It's funny. It's not funny, but you know, it's crazy though. Now I've met guys that were younger than me clearly, and it's definitely entertaining. It's very entertaining when you do it with a young guy. It's very entertaining because you're watching everything. You're watching everything, and it's very entertaining to watch them because it's like I've been here before, and I'm not, and I've been here before, so this is it's different. I just watched a trans channel. All the 6 girls, they have the same face. The problem have the same. So, that's deep. Oof. Who's that? Well, I don't know if they have the same face, but unfortunately, a lot of girls have the same face. Most women have the same face as women. Some women have much more broader eyes, and some women have a much more bigger cheeks. But if you ever notice that a lot of women look like women already, a lot of women look like other women already, a lot of women look like men already. So it's not like it's cliche, and the thing is the fact that they're women. They're very beautiful, in my opinion. And I just watched something on for channel and stuff, and it depends. I don't really like talking about the girls because I don't like putting girls down, and I don't participate in that type of organization because the girls go through a lot, and I just can't participate as far as shooting somebody down. They went to Caitlyn Jenner. Caitlyn Jenner got a great surgeon. She's got a great surgeon because she looks beautiful. I mean, she's, the pictures probably, but she looks good in my opinion. She looks good to me. I think she looks good. But for Caitlyn Jenner to be almost 80 years old, she looks good, in my opinion. Now, whether you like her or not, that's fine. That's okay. But she looks good. It took her a long time to get there and stuff, and she finally got there and stuff, and that's fine. But a lot of girls, I don't shoot the girls down because they have a hard way to go. They have a really hard way to go. And the thing is that it's so much aesthetic and everything trying to fit into a world that we know don't we're not allowed to fit into. But we stay humble and also becoming nurturers and as far as helping the girls along the way. There are certain girls that I've seen online and stuff that's too spirit. I don't like them at all. Their energy is so funny to me and fake, but I don't like them. And I don't like them. I don't like the person, but I don't say anything about them because, you know, that's their life. Always keep in mind, I don't know what the person's going through. I don't know what the person been through, so I can't participate as far as talking about her because you already know how she started. So, you know, if I was rich, I would buy a house for trans girls, get them scholarship. That's nice, Evelina. But the thing is, it's a good feeling to try to do something nice for the girls. But they're human, which means that they got personalities. And sometimes when you're trying to help your sisters, every sister is not your sister. And they will flip on you. Like they will turn their backs on you and stuff like that, Anna. They will turn their back on you. And they'll hurt your soul and your spirit and stuff. And you have to be mindful when you're trying to help the girls because unfortunately a lot of girls are evil. Some girls are very evil, and just because they did what they did, some of them are very nice, but a lot of them are evil. And I'm not saying every last one of them are evil, but a lot of girls are evil. But I guess that's from them being hurt. They've been betrayed, they've been backstabbed, been thrown on the streets, survive the best way you can. So I always think of the backstory. So a lot of times the girls have been hurt and stuff. There's a backstory. As well as the guys. Guys have been hurt because they're gay and stuff like that. And so there's a backstory about him. He's been thrown on the street, got men calling him out his name. And the thing about it is when he gets on the bus, somebody get up, they want to sit next to him. So he'll get up, he'll walk away because he don't want to be sitting next to him as if it's contagious. And the thing that gets me is, unfortunately, we all catch our own hell from people we should be catching hell from. And a lot of times, unfortunately, we go through hell. Right about now, we're going through this thing with Trump. Now we're terrorists. Before we was like ask for help to keep us protected. Now all of a sudden now it's protected those, and it's crazy to me. You haven't been protecting them. You haven't been protecting them. And the thing that gets me is I was doing stories for years ago about help girls and stuff like that. But reality is you haven't been protecting them. So since you haven't been protecting them and getting them killed, I don't even want to go through all this conversation because it's about to get dark, and I don't want to exercise nothing dark because this man is bananas, and I can't understand how could he still be sitting in office. It just lets you know that the Ku Klux Klan still exists. Exactly, King. The guy at my workplace is always going through it. His younger brother let him pass on his arm when he opens the door, car door, because he's your. Okay. I think you said that already, Evelina. You copy and pasting. I think you just said that. But I don't know. I just feel as though we need to give more grace to people because people are really going through it. And I really don't think, in my personal opinion, right about now, nobody should be judging anybody or putting anybody down because it's a lot going through. When the world is trying to get people to go against you, to give you harm or stop your growth, stop your money, I think we should give grace, in my opinion. I don't think we need to join on the bandwagon of shooting them down and stuff or making them feel less than. I feel as though we should give more grace and try to help each other more so than anything else. And that's how I feel. But people are going to do what they want to do at the end of the day. It is your decision to do what you want, you know. And I don't know. People, it's funny because once upon a time I could not stand, I hear that word trans. Once upon a time before the government renamed you, I'm not trying to go too deep on you. I want to stay basically neutral and not too dark. I just find it amazing that people adapt to anything. Like they call you this, and that's what we are. Oh, isn't it? We couldn't find a word for us, and that's what we are. And I'm like, really? So since they tell you that's what you are, that's what you are. Okay. If that's what you, if you're that weak to fall for anything, you'll stand up for nothing, and you don't, and you don't. The thing about it is, in my opinion, when you say a trans girl, you might as well say a man. You're a man who thinks you're a woman, and you should be in the bathroom. That's how I see it. And then, because if you watch the reaction of people, they're being called the man. Then all of a sudden now, Bill is being suggested that men are in the bathroom. But y'all keep digging your own grave and then act like you know where the dirt is coming from. If you were to saying, I'm a two-spirit woman, that means you are submissive and dominant. You are masculine and feminine. But y'all didn't educate the world that way. Y'all educated the world where men that think we're women and then let us use the bathroom. That's the way you decided to direct the conversation to go for you, not for me. Because that's the backbone y'all didn't have. Y'all didn't have the backbone to say, you don't rename me. Because once upon a time, there was a thing called niggers. Then there was Negroes. Then there was the colors. And the thing is, you be renamed so much. Y'all just follow along. Y'all just follow along with the rest of the shit. Y'all just go along with it. Y'all don't even listen to what you're saying. Y'all just sign on. Oh, that's what I am. That's what I am. And that's fine. But most girls who live self don't want to be that known as that because they know that it's a lot comes with that word. And there's also a lot of darkness that comes with it. And also, y'all didn't have a problem with it. So now, all of a sudden, when it's being used in a bad way, y'all feel upset. Because y'all wasn't upset when y'all was saying you're a transgender woman. Because reality is that's what the word means. I'm a man. I think I'm a woman in my mind, and I'm crazy as hell. But y'all didn't decide to educate people, make them see something different. But y'all decided to go along with the flow, and then y'all can't understand why they want you in the bathroom. I mean, make it make sense. Oh, are you good at the same breath? Narcissism, exactly. I am the light. And that's the thing. It's one thing I learned in life is that if you don't stand up for something, you'll fall for everything. People could tell you everything. They could tell you anything. But reality is that if that's what you want to believe, then okay. But then when it flips on you, why you get upset? You didn't have a problem with them calling you a man before, so why you get upset now? They don't want men in the bathroom. Now, I don't think a man should be in the bathroom, but that's what y'all. That's the narrative they put out there. Then all of a sudden it's getting thrown back. Well, we're women. Oh, now you're a woman. Oh, okay, okay, okay. What blows my mind? These men with long beards think they're. But see, that's the thing about a king. This is the thing. When the girls transition, they didn't police that transition. They decided to basically go with the flow. And other people are watching this. There are other people watching this whole reaction takes place, and if you act like you don't really care, then why should they care? When you say certain things within the cisgender world, they correct you. Why y'all call yourselves that? No, because that's what we are. But that's what you. But see, the thing is, it's like y'all like. It's funny that cisgender people understand the concept of it, but y'all don't get it. All you have. The thing about it is, if you say certain things and you watch people's reaction, their reaction tells it all. And the sad part about it is exhausting. I feel like I'll talk about this because I get exhausted because I feel like it's. I've heard it so much that it becomes like. It becomes so much like It became so big that I couldn't explain it enough for people to understand it. Because people are looking for labels. And that's their reality. And I cannot make them see things my way. They see things their way. There was a thing like called the third gender, which is Indian. Indian is like two-spirit. That's Indonesian. But the thing is, they didn't want to take that title on. They want to be known as men that think they're women, and they want to actually do little poetries and songs and shit. The thing about it is, if you really think about the concept of it, the introduction is crazy. But this is what you decided for it to be, and then all of a sudden now you're upset that it's actually going out the way that you presented it to the world. Now you could have corrected it, you could have stopped it, you could have everything. But reality is, what can you do? It's done got so big about it, but now I don't even push it. I just go, okay. Most girls like to live in self, and the ones who like to live in self get a great life. They live a great life. They just basically don't let really the people know, and they don't have to. But the ones who keep pushing that narrative of a trans woman, and everybody keeps saying it's a man, what do you expect? Then you want this is the funny part. You want a straight man to be with you, but you're pushing the narrative of a man. So he's a straight man. Now everybody calling you a man because you just decided that's the name you decided to go on, but you want a straight man to be with you when you're identified as a man. And the thing that gets me is, y'all don't get it. It could blow right in your face. And the thing is, first of all, y'all created this whole narrative. You could have stopped it. But you didn't bother. Y'all said that's what we are, but we couldn't find a word. Or you could just use the word woman. You can't be bullied out of the title because you are women. So you're being bullied to something less than and pushed down for something less. And then you can't understand why you're being treated a certain way. Like, it's just crazy to me. I don't talk about it much because a lot of times the girls don't want to hear it. And it's exhausting to try to get somebody to understand something when the government renamed you. The government renamed you. There once upon a time was they used to call black people niggers. So apes, NAACP, niggas, apes, animals, coons, and possums. And it's crazy. The whole title is just crazy to me. And yet y'all don't stand up for it. So I definitely don't put down on no damn application that name because I know what it stands for. Also going to stop your money. It's going to stop a lot of things because it's so weird to me when I hear cisgender people saying, why do y'all call yourselves that? They're trying to correct you to help you, and you so dumbfounded that you just feel as though, well, that's what we is. It's so weird to me when cisgender people are trying to correct you to help you, but you don't want to hear, I am this, this, and that, and you're proud of it. They're like, well, I can't believe no one's in the bathroom. Look at the title. Look, do you listen to the words that come out your mouth? Anyway. And it's weird to me because you can't get mad at somebody for saying what you've been saying. And it's just my opinion. And that's how I feel. Because just because I'm to feel that way does not mean every girl needs to feel that way. Some girls' titles is that. Some girls transition because she looks beautiful as a girl. Some girls transition because she always felt like a woman. Some girls transition because she feels as though she have a better life. Some girls transition because she got transitioned because she was raped. Some girls transition because she feel like she have a better life and she looks as a woman and could be with a man. Everybody's transition is totally different. So the thing about it, Evelina, I don't fight with it because you know why? If they like it, I love it. It's not about me to be the police person of this chapter. Because the thing is, it reminds you, it's pushing you to the side. It's stopping your money. It's stopping your growth. And the thing about it is, they may feel like they're empowered. Now, we're going to say this. There are some girls that are passable. There are some girls that are very passable. You wouldn't know. And there's some girls like me who are not passable. And that don't give a fuck. But then there are certain girls that are, you would never know. It's not done in a pill. It's not done in a operation. It's a spirit that's already in your body. You don't need the pill because it's already there. And unfortunately, what has been told as introduced to you, the government renamed you. Because there was a thing called femme queens that was in the beginning, before all this government got involved. The government, there was femme queen, but there was always a woman's narrative. When they changed it to transgender, that's like saying cross-dressing. What's the difference? And the thing about it is, if you're not listening to what they're saying or what you're allowing yourself to say, just keep reintroducing this narrative to you, what do you think is going to come? And why do you get upset when somebody say, "Oh, you're a man"? But that's what you keep saying. Transgender woman means I'm a man who believes I'm a woman. That's all it means. And the funny thing is, when you tell somebody I'm transgender, the first thing they say is, "Oh, you're a man." But you don't hear that part though. You don't hear that part though. You're saying it, and then it's like, well, I can't understand why they're saying that to me when I already said what I am. And the thing about it, y'all stand on business for this name. I'm like, you do know that that's not how it started. You do know that the name has been changed. You do know that a lot of girls don't call themselves that. But the thing is that you can't make somebody do what you want them to do. Hopefully one day they'll catch on. I think years ago, I did a video. I said we're going to call ourselves the Dolls. I think y'all can look it up. Before the word the Dolls was out, as of now, I said this years ago. I said You want to call the girls adults. And I wrote this years ago. Now, at the beginning of the process of myself, I didn't see a lot of things the same way. As I've gotten older, I see things differently. But the thing is, sometimes it takes a minute to catch on, sometimes it takes forever. But you catching on to something. And you catch on that somebody's saying something to you that's different. And the thing is, all you have to do is watch when you say the word. Say the word and watch how people react. When you say the word, you watch how people react. And then, why is it that when people say it, they say it with such an angry thing? I'm a transgender woman. Why are you so angry when you're saying it? Why are you always so aggressive with it? Why are you so pissed off? But if you're such a woman, why do you care? But y'all push this narrative as far as being labeled differently from the government. The government, the same one that's trying to call you terrorists and get you taken out, somebody kill you, put you in boot camp, stuff like that, take away all your rights. Y'all listen to them. And then all of a sudden you're like, well, that's what they're not trying to help you. And y'all decide, well, that's what you. The thing about it, if you spread the poison around so much, somebody's going to drink it. And if you make it their narrative as far as the conversation, somebody's going to start believing it. Then you're going to share the narrative even more, so somebody's going to sign on and start calling themselves that. If you're strong with who you are, your conviction, you be like, wait a minute now. Wait a minute now. Y'all trying to set me up. But y'all don't see it that way. Y'all don't see it that way. All you have to do is watch the reaction. Same thing I have to tell people that babies been here before, they're reincarnated. Oh, babies are being reincarnated. I said, okay. The people like, oh, the baby's been here before. Really? I said that years ago. But you know, it is what it is. I just know that everybody comes in a different way. But I always be mindful of the people who decide to take control of your conversation, your identity. Be mindful. Certain people with power can become leaders of something that's not actually be lead. You're not being led. You're being led down a road that you probably don't even need to go down. But unfortunately, we have a lot of followers. We have a lot of followers and stuff, and unfortunately, a lot of people follow. And I can't stop that either. All I could do is watch what they're saying. I just know what it means. And you know what it means. And everybody in the whole world knows what it means. It don't mean nothing positive. But for some reason, people see it as something positive. And if they did, why don't they get the reaction they get? But, like I said before, if you like it, I love it. Exactly, Evelina. The thing is, because everybody's not aligned up with helping you. Everything is not aligned up in helping you along the way. At the end of the day, you got a long life ahead of you. You have to get in front of the names that decide to call you and what you agree to it. When you start agreeing to different things and you don't stand up for something, you'll fall for everything. Everybody be calling you everything in the world. And remind you, all you have to do is watch people's reaction when you say it. Just say it, watch every react. There's gonna be really, there's not gonna be something positive. It's not like, okay, girl, it's always something. It's a shock value. That what it says is, I'm deceiving you, I'm tricking you. And the reality is, it's about a thing as far as getting a relationship and stuff. In my opinion, I feel like you should tell the person before you move forward. But that's a sexual experience within yourself. It's not everybody's business. If you ain't sleeping with the person, why anybody need to know? If I'm not having sex with you, why do you need to know everything about me? And I don't understand that's your first introduction to the person. Now, if you're interested in this person and you feel like you want to move forward with him, they're not going to understand, hey, wait a minute, by the way. That's between you and your partner. That's not a thing between you and the world, in my opinion. And then you want a man to be with you after you introduce them to the world as a man. I look like a girl, but I'm really a man. Remind you, once they hear it, because people love bad shit. When it's bad shit, they want to stick, they're going to stick like this. They're gonna hear it. They're gonna stay there. And the thing is, you're in charge of them. You are in charge of those things. You're in charge of all these narratives that you create. Also in charge of how positive you want to be and how negative you want to be. But remind you, when you give something feet and it decides to grow legs and it starts running, don't get upset with the outcome. Because it's easy to say, I'm not interested or I don't want to be with you, and that's fine. But reality is, it's being presented a different way. What? You're right. Why should the world know? Exactly, Evelina. And that's what I'm saying. Because I don't understand the whole introduction. The girls have been existing for years, centuries. A lot of older girls, like what's her name? It's Ebony. Um, she was on the front cover of the magazine. What was her name? Ebony. Was it Ebony? What's her name? She was on front. She got upset because she was like, why y'all calling me that? Because she lived herself. What was the girl name that was on the Dark and Lovely box? David. Evelina. What's the girl name that was on the Dark and Lovely box? So she knows that the young girls are calling them that because that's what they're being told they are. I've never saw anybody have to explain their sexual preference into the world like that, man. Tracy Africa. No, Tracy Africa. Exactly. Tula, yeah, Tula got a great life. Tracy Africa, her name was Tracy Africa. She lived the whole life, and all of a sudden she got out by gay men. But the reality is, there's still men coming after her because they think she's self. Hey Tamar, 40 years old. Yes, you're correct. And the thing that gets me is, you have to understand that the government renaming you, and it's stopping your growth, and it stop. And the thing is, as long as you're spreading the poison, you can't get upset because it's spreading too far and too fast that people, even now, you got people looking for you, and also got people looking for females because because they believe females should be short, little and petite and skinny and tiny, but there are girls in the world that are tall, 6 feet and over. I watch this podcast on YouTube, being tall. A lot of tall girls go through the same things we go through. They being tall and stuff. Everybody call them a man or you a dude because they're tall. And the sad part about it is they go through the same exact things we go through. When they go through the door, they go, "Oh, that's a dude." When you're tall, they automatically make it the height masculine. When you're short and little, they make the height feminine. So if a man is short and little, they make his height feminine. It's more like a girl to him. He's being compared to a woman. So then he becomes angry because he's being tired of treated like a short person. Like, get your arms off me. Like get your arm off me like I'm little. He can't stand it because he knows what it makes him feel like. You're creating this conflict within him to make him feel feminine when he's masculine. So become very masculine. He also the one on the bus. He's capping on everybody, making fun of everybody because he's pissed off. He can't blame himself because he's short. It's just the cards he was dealt with, and he tries to make it work the best way he can. But he becomes very angry because he sees these tall guys and he looks way better than them, but he's short. Then he's being compared to a feminine woman. Like you're short like a girl, like you little like a girl, your hands are little like a girl, but he's a man. Then when a girl is tall, everything about her is masculine. Then there are, once upon a time, the girls used to have to be, they would try to be present as far as beautiful. The new age, men are walking around with beards and mustaches, and it's called beautiful. It's called the girl. Then they got the girls, they're called men. So they call the girls men who lives as women, but they call them men. That's a dude. And a lot of times, those people are gay men or gay women because they get it from all ends. They get it from the gay women, they get it from the gay men, and unfortunately, you cannot tell a person is gay or not unless they decide to introduce themselves or do something that makes them show themselves as gay. You can't always tell. There are a lot of guys that are gay that don't look gay at all. There's a lot of gays that are very masculine presenting, act just like a hardcore dude, and they gay as hell. But unfortunately, with the girls, they get called the man. First thing come out their mouth, that's a man. And the sad part about it is, unfortunately, the presentation of a woman is keep saying you're a trans woman. And most women keep hearing that word, you're a man. And then when guys want to date the girls, they're being introduced as men. And a lot of times when it comes down to it, they're like, I'm not gay. Why do you feel like you're gay? Because that's the narrative people pushing out. If a man wants to be with you and if he's a straight man and he wants to be with a girl that's two-spirit, he's being introduced as a gay guy now because he's dealing with the dolls. Unfortunately, that's the title that he has to get under. He's being called. It has nothing to do with. He likes a woman. He likes women. So it questions his sexuality, makes him feel uncomfortable around a girl who's a proud speaker as far as saying she's a transgender woman. In my opinion, I feel as though you should be able to protect that man. If you're going to protect him, be his best friend, protect him. Stop giving this narrative out. Now, people want to call her a man and stuff like that because people just mean, or she's a woman or biological woman. People going to say mean things anyway because you can't stop people. Whether it's a man or woman. But just how the world is, unfortunately. Within the black community, forget it. Because, our own people do the most shit, unfortunately. But it is what it is. But it's weird you can't have a fight when you're basically pushing this narrative out and then you want somebody to respect you as a woman when you keep telling them you're a man. If you ain't fucking them, why they need to? They don't need to know your business. They don't really know how you was born. They don't need to know shit. It's not their business. If we ain't fucking, why the fuck you care? If we ain't fucking, your questions be hell no. That's what the fuck I am. My name is Raven. I don't give what the fuck you want to call me, but I'm gonna tell you. But the thing is, you have to get aggressive. Unfortunately, you have to be nasty sometimes just to get your point across. Don't let nobody rename you, because a lot of times they just be saying this shit. They really don't be knowing, but they just want to see if you want to say it, or you're gonna take the bait and really. Because there's so many girls out here that are very beautiful, and it's like sometimes you just look at them, and they'll create this whole narrative that's stopping their growth. But there are girls out here who says it and they prosper. They get guys and stuff like that, but most times they get guys that are very submissive. That means she's more of the man in the bedroom, in my opinion. So he's more feminine. In the world we live in now, versatile is very big. Guys want the girls just for the, to take him and bend him over and make him feel cunt. Instead of him taking her, bend her over, and make her feel cunt, he wants her to bend him over to make him feel cunt. Exactly, David. But people like what they like. And it's funny because when the guys meet now, they want to know, are you versatile? And I asked the guy about that. I said, well, he said, the reason why Raven B says because a lot of girls are topping them in. So when he gets you, he wants you to top him. So unfortunately, it's spread it worldwide because the girls are topping men. A lot of girls transition, but it's nothing about the man and woman. Nothing about them is a woman. Everything about them is presentation of a woman, but reality is their spirit is a man. They feel very masculine. They feel strong and hardcore, but she presents a woman. Now the thing is, transition to me used to be, I feel like a woman, and I'm changing myself so the outside can match. And a lot of these girls are not doing that. A lot of these girls are doing the fact that they can look like a girl, then they can take a man and bend him over and fuck him in the butt. Hey, Natalie. Exactly. And that's the thing. And unfortunately, it's spreading. It's spreading. It became so big and global that I can't stop it, but I don't have to participate in it. And I also, you know, I can't stop what's going on, but I can't stay away from it. I can hear people call people that. I notice a lot of times girls like, well, you call yourself that, I don't call myself that. And it's weird because it's like, y'all know. I've seen girls that are very beautiful, but y'all know the effect that it gives. And you're like, well, I'm a proud one. That's fine. That's fine. And trust me, we're going to listen. We're going to watch. We're going to hear you say everything I say. We're going to listen. But trust me, I always see the man. So now, see. So now when you tell your story, we're like, oh, no. You're presenting to everybody your conversation as a man. And unfortunately, a lot of girls see it that way. And a lot of guys see them that way. And it's difficult because a lot of times guys who are definitely tops in the bedroom become confused. It's just a big mess. But the thing is, you like what you like. I'm not trying to knock nobody. That's your thing. Do it. But unfortunately, there is a flip side to the coin. Girls who feel like women, that feel like they're all women, feel disrespected for a man to tell her to top him. She feels disrespected because she's like, I got all his titties, I got all his ass. Why am I got to get on top of you? You're caught in the mix. You're caught in the matrix because a lot of girls are topping the guys. A lot of girls are topping the guys. They're doing it. They're really doing it. And the guys are getting used to it. Just imagine being a straight man, then all of a sudden now your legs are bent over, you're being pushed back, you're in your feminine energy, now you're being dicked down as a woman. And then when you go home, you be like, oh, that felt good. Now you want some more. Matter of fact, you want to be with this one and then this one and this one. You want to take out all the sizes and see how many sizes you could deal with, how many sizes you could take. But the reality is, you just changed them because you don't love them. And now he's used to it. Now he wants more. Now he wants this. That's what they call the tranny chaser. Because he done got one dick, now he want to get the next size. He want to see if we get this body and try that body and check this body out, check that body. He wants to try all the sizes, see all the girth and how many limbs they can take. And at this point, you don't look at you as a girl. You just look as a sexual act. You're a walking dildo. And you change his mind. You change his way of thinking and you change everything about him. And the thing that messes up, a lot of times men become very that way. Then the girls become, I'm detransitioning because you never was a woman. You never was a woman because you don't transition to become a woman. You already is a woman. But the reality is, like I said, whatever you like, I love it. It has nothing to do with me. I can appreciate you that want to say that's what you are, or whatever. And another thing is, drug abuse women are easy to find a man who's on drugs as well. Drugs attract drugs, and substance abuse, they get people quicker because they both like drugs. So they connect as far as a bonding, what's it called, trauma bonding, and then all of a sudden now they're having sex with each other, and you're like, well, how come I can't find nobody? Because he's on drugs. He's on drugs, so he'll do anything for a hit. He'll do anything for some drug. And it's exhausting because you're like, I'm a good person, but that's not what that's not why he's there. He's there for the drug. He want to get high. I mean, he knows you a junkie, he's a junkie. I don't mean to say junkie because I do know people that are on the stuff strong. But it's happened. And the sad part about it, I don't know. Like I said before, I live and let live. If you like it, I love it. It has nothing to do with me. But I could respect it and leave it the hell alone. How are you, Muhammad? And that's the thing. Anyway, it's so funny, this subject. The subject, Amanda, was Natalie. The subject matter is about preference. People have preference what they like and what they don't like and stuff like that. And sometimes people get upset because they decide that they want to be with you, but you're not their preference. And then they get upset and they get angry. Then the name calling begins and a whole bunch of stuff like spoiled kids. But reality is it is what it is. Anyway, but you like it, I love it. If that's what you want to be called, that's what you be called. Spread the news. But I just don't personally feel as though it's everybody's business. I don't. Especially if you want to make things grow. There are a lot of guys that dating the girls just for their people. He's not even dating her because loves her. He dating her because of that pipe. He want pipe in his leg. And then he'll say, well, I only date the girls, but reality is he only wants them. You know, I don't knock what you into and stuff like that, but then there's a girl that feels like a woman inside. She represents everything of a woman. But then there are some girls out there that don't, in my opinion. So, if you feel as though you have to be more masculine in the bedroom, have to be masculine presenting for a man that's basically straight, then there's something about you that reads out that I just want to be more masculine. Even if you're a biological female, if you have to feel as though in order to be with a man, you have to get a dildo to fuck him. It's something about you, something about that act. To me, it's masculine. Now, if you just like to get, that's your thing. I'm not saying I'm correct. I'm not saying everything about me is perfect. But for me, if I want to be with a man, I want to be more masculine presenting, and I want to be the one getting pounded on. I'm not the one to be the one doing the pounding. And then on top of that, these girls will spend so much money to look beautiful, and then they're doing other things. But I'm not knocking nobody. If you like it, I love it. It's not my business. Your sexual performance with your partner is none of my business. But I know when it comes to me and my body, I want a certain type that he has to be for me. I don't want a man where I done pumped all the masculinity out of him. Now all of a sudden, he feels as though he wants to get a blonde wig. Now he wants to be beautiful. He feels as though you're trying to be jealous of him because he feels like he looks better in your clothes when you're going to work and stuff like that. And reality is, you turned them out. You turned them out. And we know you can turn somebody out, especially when it comes to sex. You could turn people out. You could turn a man into a whore. You could turn a woman into a whore. The thing about it is, you have to be mindful, because sex is a dangerous drug. It'll get people to do things they would never want to do, or never would do. But then when they do it, they want it again. They may complain about it, but then you home, and everything about y'all is not about love anymore. It's all about sex. And unfortunately, the love part is being canceled. It's being introduced that you're a body. And unfortunately, a lot of girls going to be single because of that reason. You're known as a body. And they plan on using your body to the fullest. And unfortunately, if you find somebody who's really sincere, that really want to be with you, the situation is totally different. But it is a lot of people out here that don't. And obviously the world has gotten bigger. The girls have gotten more passable, more beautiful. And the guys become more curious. And then they get curious and stuff and start doing things. And this guy told me, he said, Raven, he said within a certain age bracket, the girls are basically topping the men. I didn't understand that. He said that's the reason why. He said when you get to a certain age, and you're in your 20s, in your 30s, they're on top of the men. Men want their first experience and they get fucked in the butt. Anyway, talk about being ticked off the subject. But you know what? I don't like. This is the thing with me. If you like it, I love it. First of all, your sexual performance with your partner is your business. What y'all do in the bedroom, it's nobody's business but y'all. As long as y'all happy, it's nobody's business. If somebody, in my opinion, as long as you are not hurting somebody underage, or You know, it's none of my business. First of all, it's none of my business. Period. It's none of my business. Cause you like what you like, and I don't sexually police anybody's sexuality. I saw this one guy I had a crush on, and I actually saw him on TikTok, and I said, "How you doing?" He looked at me and said nothing back. I said, "Okay," and it's weird. No, no, they want more. Exactly, they want more. Just imagine being curious of something, David, and then somebody get you in the bed and they know what they're doing and they turn you the hell out. First of all, most men won't say anything as being turned out. But when he goes home, he hit the bump in the car, boom. He's like, oh, I feel good. That felt good. He's turned out. Now the neighborhood has gotten bigger, but his identity is straight. I met guys that was two guys go together and they both said they were straight. And they had boyfriends. They said I'm straight. It's something about that word gay that makes men so upset. But anyway, I think when you place your values on other people's opinion is when you lose. I think the best part about life is that you don't give a fuck. I mean, you stand knee deep in it. I don't give a fuck. I'm fucking wanna fuck. And people I want to be with and don't give a fuck. Unapologetic, just a bitch. I think those are people I love. The ones that don't give a fuck. Anyway, I just wanted to share it with you. LGBTQIA, whatever it is, whatever, because these pronouns keep growing. 2025, there's going to be new pronouns. Also, they're trying to take your rights away. They don't want you in that. They don't want you nowhere around. But y'all did it to yourself. You did it to yourself. Anyway, I love you all. Let me sing, because I'm about to go. I did my 1 hour. It's funny, because ain't nobody been asked to do an hour. Natalie, King David, Mohammed, Evelina, Tamar, Evelina, Miss Anna, Evelina, King David, Evelina, Evelina, GL Carter, April. Okay. Well, I'm about to go. Remember, it's nobody's business. But if you want to be about business, all I do is tell them, and they trust me. Rumors spread quick. Evidence you share, if they're gonna evidence gonna get shared, and trust me, it's gonna be completed way one time. Anyway, have a blessed day.